Welcome back, everybody. This is Steve KM9G, and you have tuned in to the Sunday edition of Coffee and Ham Radios. Today, we're talking Shack. We're going to talk about what excites you about the hobby and what you do on your what's your daily routine for playing amateur radio, playing radio is. And so, if you could leave a comment in the chat with what you like to do on the radio when you get up in the morning, let's say it's Saturday morning or Sunday morning like today, and you want to go play radio, what do you do? What excites you about this hobby? And then we're going to go around the table here, and we're going to talk about what excites us about the hobby and what our morning routine is. And by that time, maybe the answers will be in the chat because of that wonderful chat delay. So, Abe, how are you doing this morning?
I'm tired. I don't know why. I probably stayed up too late, and I was having fun, but I'm ready to go. I'm trying to get up to speed. I can't meet your speed, but I'm trying.
I don't know. I've been having a little bit of the sauce this morning, so we're doing all right. We're doing all right. And to our live correspondent on the scene, Ham Radio Dude, how are things out and wherever you happen to be? Where are you?
I'm in California today, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm tired. It's still dark outside, and I understand why we don't have as many viewers from the West Coast is because it's too early for them to wake up and watch Coffee and Ham Radio. So
what time is it out there? 7?
7 a.m. Yeah. And it's still dark out, and it's cold, and it's California though, so at least the air is crisp and clean.
How cold is it?
It's 28 degrees.
You're lying.
Woo, that's cold.
You're the lying Californian.
I would say it's probably about 52 degrees, maybe 48 degrees, somewhere around there.
It was 36 here this morning. I'm rocking the fleece.
Yeah.
This is my current operating temperature.
54 degrees.
54 degrees.
68, yeah.
The ratty thermometer, is how they say that.
Oh, yeah. It's from the ratty weather station. I did a review on my channel about it if you want to go back and take a look. I actually like it. It's doing the thing. It's doing everything I expect of it and not a penny more, which is all you can hope for, right?
Yeah. And I'm sorry I can't see the chat very well, so I only get to scroll in between them because I'm on a phone. But I did see Marty say, now you know. And I'm like, yeah, Marty, I get it. Actually, I spoke to a guy last night on 40 meters, and his name was Andy, and he watches Coffee and Ham Radio, so that was kind of cool.
It's awesome.
But then a bunch of guys popped in and were like, "Oh yeah, we do the team replay." So I think the reason is it's kind of early out here.
Yeah.
At the end of the show yesterday, we had 107 views, I think is
awesome.
What it was, and then by nightfall, we had 266. So that's more than double on Team Replay.
Oh, yes. And so one thing that came out of yesterday's show, we had 499 subscribers at the beginning of the show, and I brought up that, if we could just get to 500, and within a couple hours, we were there. So I really appreciate you guys for making that happen. And so we're at a little over 500 subscribers, and if we could get to 2,000 subscribers today, I would really appreciate that. I got exactly what I asked for, so I need to make sure that I, set the bar a little higher today. So 2,000 is where we're at today.
Can I give a little bit of a shameless plug?
Sure.
Yes.
I have 4,717 4,700. I have 9,717 subscribers, and if I can get to 10,000 subscribers in 1 week, so if I get like 300 more subscribers, I'll give away a Yaesu FT65, sponsored by Ham Radio Dude.
Nice. Did you pick that up at the show?
I did.
Awesome.
I picked up a bunch of radios for future review and further documentation. So we're going to get back to the old way of doing things where I go technical on all these radios, but I want to give away a FT65. So you guys share my channel and please subscribe.
So,
yeah,
so
awesome,
while you were
dude.
there with Chuck, you were compelled to buy a Yaesu product, lest you feel the wrath.
Chuck probably forced it.
Nah,
there wasn't much for sale otherwise, to be honest with you. You could buy a 705, you could buy a Yaesu FT5D or a 65, and there was a couple other radios.
This is very quickly turning into the Ham Radio Dude interview, which is fine.
Was the Yaesu dude there, or did you buy from a vendor?
The only vendor that was there was HRO. As far as as far as sales vendors, right?
Gotcha.
So I bought from
Radios.
HRO, even
Well,
though. Yeah. What's that, Chuck?
For radio stuff, there was other vendors there for other things, but there was actually a guy there selling G90s and other radios also.
Yeah, $350 for a G90, I think it was.
That's not
Really?
bad.
Ooh.
I didn't see
pretty
the
good.
price. That
Buy
wasn't
two of
bad.
them. Sell them on
$350.
eBay for $500.
Original box.
Exactly.
And we got to meet Wayne from Ellicraft in person, which was really cool. We met Chris over at Buddy Pull.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think the best news is, and you guys didn't tell us yesterday. Well, you did tell us yesterday, but I thought you guys were pulling my chain. That anime or Wild Cascadia Radio was there, and the whole time I thought you were pulling my chain. And Dennis came up. I met Dennis, and he was like, "Did you see Wild Cascadia?" And I'm like, "I thought you guys were kidding," you know. But we all got to meet up, and we had a good time.
That's cool, man. I saw some of the pictures you posted on Twitter, so it looked like you were having fun.
So again, back to the dude interview. Liberty's saying, who did you meet at the show? And we just got Dennis and Wayne and Anime. So that one's covered. The next one up is from Marty. Ham Radio Dude, what city are you in?
I'm in Pinole, California, which is a suburb of Oakland. And I got to go on a mountain, which was called...
It's not a suburb of Oakland. He's totally wrong.
Suburb of Orlando.
Yeah, Oakland's 30 minutes from us. So I guess you could call it. But we're a suburb of San Francisco, which is the same distance. We're a suburb of Sacramento, which is just a little farther away. He likes to say Oakland, I think. I think he's a Raider fan.
I'm a Niners fan, but if you were to, Chuck, if somebody was to ask where you were from and they didn't know the area, where would you say you were from?
San Francisco area.
San Francisco. Okay, so we're in the Oakland area.
He just doesn't want to associate with San Francisco. So
my old lady was asking. She was like, "Where does Chuck live?" And I was like, "California." And then she was like, "What part?"
By the way, Chuck is here also, guys. I mean, it's been the dude show so far, but Chuck is actually here also.
I was actually going to throw this one over to Chuck because I think Chuck is qualified to answer this one.
I'm out of here.
Was there a swap meet, Chuck?
No. We're going to the swap meet today because the dude is going to buy an FT DX 101 if he can find one.
And then
maybe I'm letting too much out. I don't know. That's what he told me. He told me that this morning. Hi, Marty. Thanks.
See, there you go.
At least Marty knows I'm here.
And this is a hat tip to Chuck also. He enjoys rotating his Moxon. So Chuck, are your feelings unhurt now?
Sure, whatever.
Tell us into which ear the hurt feelings were spoken.
So
the words of
I
hurt.
have to say, me and dude have had a good time. We had a failed soda, and we got some really good advice on it that we already knew, which was kind of crazy. Oh, you guys should post it up. And well, when your phone drops out every time you get on the site for soda, it's like, well, so I posted on Discord, which for some reason worked. And geez, we still didn't get anybody. It was just, I don't think propagation was very good the day we were out. And for some reason, the Chuck Tenna was not. Oh yeah, Plasma couldn't even recognize me yesterday. Some reason, the antenna was not resonant right like it used. It was close, but it wasn't what it was. And dude goes, well, maybe it stretched, and I shortened it 2 feet, and I'm pretty sure it didn't stretch 2 feet. So
did a lot of RF there.
Yeah, there was, and I think that might have been part of it. Sometimes the ground you're over sometimes changes things. Mm-hmm. And I talked to Dan, which is a good buddy of Adam, or Dennis, as we know him.
As he likes to be called.
He has a difference of opinion on the Ellicraft, or not the Ellicraft, the infed halfways on how far off the ground they should be. And we did lift his up. Dude standing here with his radio like this, and it's, the SWR is better. So it does, there was a change, but that thing was tuned pretty close to the ground. And,
so it was moving dude out of the field. So closer down, he's part of the counterpoise.
It was weird.
Farther away,
we're gonna set it up here because this is my backyard is where I tuned it for him, and I bet it's fine right here. I think it like Ape brought up. It was probably there's like all kinds of dishes and what else was up there? I think we were.
There was a lot of I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was
This is
just
the
going to say,
Chuck show.
it's a Chuck show now. I think we were so close to the repeaters and stuff for the cell service and stuff like
Yeah.
that because I tried to bring up Soda Goat and look at the spotter on there, and I couldn't get it to come up. We walked down the hill. We were 100 feet below where we were, and all of a sudden everything worked perfect.
So there's
So I
two theories behind it. You
And I
know,
think
one
yours-
was. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead, because I'll add to
Jinx.
The two theories. So it was all these bad calls, like he said, and these towers. And the first theory is we were so close to them that it was overpowering, or there was too much signal going into our radios, which we needed an attenuator on our cell phones or our radios or whatever it would be. Well, it would be your cell phones. Or the other theory would be is we were under and we were getting overshot, right?
So yesterday when we sat down with Anime and some other hams came in and they were eating their lunch next to us and asked the cassette, the guy I talked to next to me was in the cell service. I think he was actually in the cellular service trade.
Cellular
at one time.
hobby.
Yeah.
And he basically told me basically what dude said. It was overdoing our phones and attenuating or whatever. So it was a problem with we were too close.
You may not have known, but I was an engineer before the military. When I was in college, I was an engineer at a wireless internet company, and us having our subscribers on the wireless internet too close to the tower, we would have to pad their signal with attenuators, and that's kind of why I figured that was the case.
I
Back
went
to you,
to
T.O.
I went to AT&T's Global Network Operations Center. It was probably like 10 years ago. And when I was there, I had a Verizon phone and I had zero signal on it because they just pump RF at the frequency levels of the Verizon carrier service into their facility. So you can't, your phone's completely dead. You can't use it at all. And that's their way of saying you should be an AT&T customer.
What was kind of funny is I sat here and I tried to send something out, right? And then I walked on like 5 steps down the road and all of a sudden it would, I don't know if it was the difference in the distance, but it would pop up and actually post. But dude actually streamed, and I was like, how did you... It was strange. Yeah. And guys, believe me, we know you can... tell you the truth, I don't usually spot myself most of the time.
Chuck goes in raw.
I mean, it's kind of like cheating, isn't it? You guys just spot you're cheating.
Well, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
I will
what
ask
radio
people
you
to
were
spot
using
sometimes.
You were using the 705?
Yeah.
Did that overload light come on at all while you were there? Or?
I didn't notice
OVD,
it.
I think is what it says on
OVF, yeah.
OVF.
I don't know
I
if
don't-
it did or not.
I don't think so.
I have a proclivity to pay attention to it. Like it always pops up, and I'm like,
Boys, we have a problem here. Don Izzo is currently out doing a POTA activation. How do we feel about that?
well, we can see if we can find. We got a frequency on Don Izzo.
We do, but he's doing it during the show. I mean, he should be here with us, right?
Well, he's banned for life.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So where is it? Ham alert. Because he's interrupting the show by giving me all these ham alerts. So he's on 7238.
7238.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get him there probably. Well, maybe with that 705 out in the backyard with the
It's possible. That
half square.
and my new Dennis battery, Atom battery.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. It's pretty
Yeah, I
nice.
got
It's
one. Thank you
padding
very
and
much.
everything.
It does. Thank you, Dennis. We used it yesterday to get 10 watts of power.
You said 7238, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I can't hear him.
No,
All
you
I
gotta
hear
try.
this time of morning is China or Japan, whichever one broadcasts AM. That's all we have in the mornings until about 8:30.
I think another reason to subscribe to Ham Radio Dude is because I went live from the mountaintop, and it was about having a good time. It wasn't about like making money and stuff like that, right? And I went live and I shared the beauty of California, and then I deleted the stream. So if you would have been subscribed to Ham Radio Dude, you could have seen it, but now you'll never see it because it's gone.
You're such a tease.
I'm having problems here this morning.
That is pretty strange.
Yeah. It keeps jumping to the one side. Let me see what I can do here. If I can.
So, Brojet's giving you the pro tip. He says just 7238, not 7.238.
Oh yeah, those things they're touchy on how you put it in.
Hey, would you look at that? He's right.
Thank
Plasma,
you, Bridget.
Plasma Storm says he didn't get an alert. I went live. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.
And YouTube's a pain in the butt about notifications. Because Randy, K7AGE, I actually noticed that I was subscribed and had the bell rang, and I haven't seen a video of his in like a year and a half. So
Yeah, he hasn't done one. He hasn't done a lot of videos lately, I don't think.
Let's see. That was New Hampshire, but that might have been too close.
Georgia.
That was this
Utah.
one right here. We can try Cleveland
Yeah.
with the Buckmaster.
Off center fed. Oh, there you go. You're already getting some noise. It's down.
Let's see, here he is up here. Oh, that's a logo.
Yeah.
Today's not my day, guys.
Need more coffee.
I'm not.
That'd be Coke for him.
Little Coke in the morning?
Cola.
Oh, okay.
Coca-Cola.
October 16th, 2123.
Yeah.
Receiver offline.
Don said, or
Can
Don
you guys
said he
hear
got
it
Dawn
all?
yesterday.
Yeah, I can hear it.
A little bit, yeah. There's nothing there really.
Yeah, there's somebody down in there, but
Don Hamharder. Like he's watching. Anyway, so we
He
were
might-
actually
he
talking
might
about
be.
POTA. Bring up that POTA page, Abe.
let me close this one out. So I don't remember where we found this article, to be honest with you. But this was saying 8 reasons POTA is the best thing to ever happen to amateur radio.
Agreed.
I think the best thing is the Baofeng, and then maybe POTA's number 2. But if
Holy
we take a
wars.
look, I'm not going to read all these words because, as I've already covered, it's not my day. But if you take a look at here, this is the QSO count per month submitted to POTA. And if you look over here in January 2017, that's pretty low. I don't know exactly what that is, but over the course of time, September 2001, they had over 250,000 POTA QSOs logged that month, which is fantastic. And then when you go down here, there's all kinds of reasons. Like they're like the ease of registering is one of the 8 reasons.
Mm.
The
Compared to
robust
Logbook of
spotting.
the World, yes. Logbook
Yeah.
of the World is a pain in the butt.
Yes. The robust spotting network. I stopped using Logbook of the World. I know I'm a bad person, but it's just too much for me.
Yeah, same.
Robust spotting network, and that I can get that. They do have a pretty good way to do that. Brief but relaxed exchange. Earning awards is easy. People like to do that. Earning awards is challenging. You get the awesome scenery. Look at this fella out here.
So it's easy to get the paper, but it's challenging to get the contacts to make the award, because you can't say that earning is easy
Right.
followed by earning is challenging. And they probably went over it in the paragraphs, but we're not going to read them to you.
Right. Remember these old school thermoses like that?
Oh, yeah.
I got one of those that are the green ones. I don't remember what brand they're. But they
Tio's
were
wearing
good.
it, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's opportunities for DX. You have outreach, and there's a conclusion here. One of the things I think that there's the growth thing here is because a lot of people complain about their noise floor, and I talk to more and more hams these days, and they're saying things like, "I just do POTA because I can't where I live, and it's easy for me to go out and set up and do that." So I'm going to say it's noise floor.
Hey, dude, how's the noise floor here?
I have to check to make sure that the antenna is plugged in.
Yeah.
I heard Oakland has a low noise floor.
Yeah, Oakland's
It's
really low.
It's insane. I'm just like, there's S0, there's no noise, and then all of a sudden you see the station come in, and it's like blowing out your ears. And of course the Alicom front end can't handle it, so you have to switch to a Yaesu.
Yeah, there were some problems there, but no. But he was also on a directional antenna, which does help. We did. But we hooked up the Chameleon too, and it was
Even
pretty
the
quiet,
Chameleon
too,
had
which
no-
was
yeah.
which was
The
weird.
The Chameleon had like an S1 noise level. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Chuck, I got that whip antenna that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Is that an MFJ?
No, this
The
is
MFG?
this is the Chinese one that we were talking about.
You know,
Oh, I
Wolf
didn't
River
talk
Coil.
about that one.
Wolf
didn't
River
see that
Coil
one.
sells those. That is exactly the one that Wolf River Coil sells. Those end up kind of getting loose at the end right there.
But this is and it says it's M10, but it doesn't tell me the thread count.
M10 is the thread count, isn't it?
M10 is the
No.
millimeters, right?
10
The
millimeters.
width.
M10
So-
is,
I got
It's
this,
the
right, Chuck? You
size.
know what this is, right?
right.
It does not fit.
It doesn't fit, and it's an M10.
It is, and then so like if I look at this coil, we looked at these yesterday on the show. That does fit, no problem. But this is 3/8 24.
Right.
So what we need is 3/8 24. Well, we need an M10 female to 3/8 24 male in order to do this. And I can't find one. I don't know if I'm looking at them right. So I figured you're the parts guy.
Well, I picked up this off of Amazon. This is basically the same as I think
Yeah.
Chameleon. It looks like it looks like the same one Chameleon sells. It was pretty reasonable, but on the bottom of this though, that's what I'm going to show you. More of that. See, there's the threads on there. Is that?
Yep,
and
that's
then
different than mine.
It came with this, which is from whatever that is to 3/8 24.
So you don't have the same problem that I've got.
Now this one actually works.
So
What
I
did
think-
you get? Is yours an M10 that you got?
It says it's an M10, but I ordered this from China, so who knows what it is.
I think that Wolf River Coil ordered a bunch of those, and what they ended up having to do was like re-slot it or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
And they ended up selling those at their Hamfest for a discount of $15 a pull because they just weren't good, whatever.
So
They had to re-slot them or whatever you call it.
let me ask
Sorry,
you a
go ahead.
question. How does it compare size wise to a 3/8 24? Is it bigger?
It's very, very close.
Oh,
Like, I mean, it's close, but the
just force it on.
I think the threading is the issue. I actually think it would fit if it was threaded correctly because I get one turn. Can you see that? I get one turn on there.
So does it look like it's more coarse? Because there's also a 3/8 18, I think, or 16.
It is.
coarser.
It is. There's less thread here. Let me see if I can do this. Can you see the difference?
Not really. But it looks like
it's-
that bad. Maybe it's a 3/8. Get a 3/8. I think it's 16 or 18 is the coarse one.
All right.
24 is the fine, and that's when I went to Ace the other day. I couldn't find the 3/8 24. That's what these little things are.
They sell those things. I didn't know the hardware store would sell those.
Oh yeah,
I figured I had to do all this on the
They
Amazon.
don't usually sell one that's. I don't know if you can find one that's like M10 there, and then 3/8 are there on the other side though. That's the hard part.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, we hijacked the show.
It's okay.
I forgot
I
we were
was having all
talking
kinds of
about that.
internet problems.
Well, you were logged in twice for a minute there.
Yes, you
I had to
were.
kick myself out of the stream. It was pretty bad.
We usually try to do that, but I mean, you usually don't do yourself.
45 Auto's telling me to get a bigger hammer, and I'd be able to get that in there.
I tell you
Well,
what, if you throw it on there one time and you get it all nice and straight, I just force that thing on there and be done with it.
And I like how Chuck's very calmly saying that he's just going to force it in there.
Evan says 31, but I don't know what he means by that.
Who?
He's the
Evan
31st
Barrett.
light.
They were talking about the likes and dislikes, and somebody said there was only 5 likes, but then I think Evan jumped on and said, no, there's 31, and somebody else jumped on and said, yeah, I show
Some-
35.
Sometimes you got to refresh. That doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't
mag mounts
update.
are all 3H 24. That's the thing is that I want it to be 3H 24. Don.
That's the common one. I had a friend make me a steak that was threaded and has the
Medium
little
rare.
part on the side, and I don't know, either he heard me wrong or I told him wrong, because I always kind of remember 3/8 24, but he did 3/8 16.
This might be 3816. I don't know.
But I fixed that.
I don't know if
I
you guys
just-
said it or not. I go down the hardware store and they either you go over to the section
Right.
full of nuts and just thread a nut on until you get it. You read that, then you go do the thing you want now that you know what it is. Or B,
Exactly.
they have a template thing there. What do they call that? It's a
yeah,
measuring
I was gonna
device where you just screw it in.
Has
Oh,
all
that's
the
the
different
one.
sizes. Yeah.
And there's two different kinds.
Is it
'cause
called
you
a
have-
stud bar? Because that's what Andy's saying. Find a stud
Probably.
bar.
Well, that's what it's called in the UK.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's just I know that or I don't know if Orchard had them, but I know when it was we have Ace now. It used to be something else, and it's just a little flat piece of metal, and it's got all these holes in it with different threads in it. And it'll have
Congratulations, Evan.
metric, and it'll have SAE also.
Thread standards. There you go.
Hey, everybody wants a shout out. Who's going to do the shout outs today to the chat?
You are.
I can't. I don't have two screens even.
Ape did it yesterday. It's Chuck's turn.
Advanced Auto.
I'm just barely awake here.
Oh, that should make it more interesting. Chuck
I
and his
know.
dulcet tones. What would you say you are, Chuck? Are you a baritone?
I don't know. Bass, baritone, I don't know.
I think you need to go get that checked out.
I've got a major problem, all right. Yeah, just go down and grab nuts off the
Grab nuts.
shelf there.
Where-
Ape.
I'm going to go to these. Where the nuts at? Where them nuts?
Do you have Ace
Just
hardware?
cradle them. Yeah.
We, I believe we do. We have.
They'll have that little thing that the TO was talking about to thread it into, but it might be easier just to use nuts because.
But I need to go. And this needs to go female to male, right? So I can.
I'm saying that's the 3/8, right? I just say be really careful and thread that thing on there and just don't never take it off. Just never take it off.
See, I want it to be. What I want to do
Like
is
$5 for that, right? Is
this
that
was
$5?
this was like a 7, and then its antenna was like 30.
Oh,
But what I want to be able to do is I also want to have a I-ring or O-ring around here that I can plug an antenna, like a wire into.
Counterpart.
So instead of using the whip, I can also use a 60-foot element. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Hey, since we're talking antennas, and we have three guys here with IC 705s, I have a question for you. If it's okay to talk about IC 705 antennas for a moment.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. That's better. So the IC 705 has VHF, UHF, and for an antenna solution, I want a portable antenna solution, meaning something that just hooks up to the radio and isn't like, whatever. So yesterday I spoke to ICOM and they told me to go over to Comet, and Comet was like, we don't have a solution, but you should use the SSB5, which, as we all know, is a mobile antenna for a car. And I guess it would work, but that's kind of like awkward. I want something that will be compact, right? Like a telescopic antenna. Do you guys have a telescopic antenna you use for VHF, UHF on the IC 705? And if so, what is it?
I got to tell you, I would never, ever hook a SSB5 to my 705 because I think that the weight of that would mess with that BNC connection.
And that was Genius Comet's suggestion.
I don't have a collapsible, but I have a flexible whip antenna, and this is HYS NLR2.
Okay, and it's a BNC connector on that. Can you show that?
No, it's a PL259 connector.
Okay, so you're using the
The
mount or the clamp, yeah.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
don't understand the whole like this thing here. But if you have since we're all ICOM fanboys here, if you have like an ID51 or something like that, you can pull the antenna off of that BNC and put it on sideways, and then turn the 705 upright and be back in business. I don't like the fact that the BNC comes off the side of that.
So Chuck has he has a MFJ telescopic antenna for 20 meters, but I think they make one for VHF, UHF as well. Chuck made this cool little stand for it too. It's like this little tripod stand.
I'm pretty sure Diamond has one. Let me see if I can find it. But
What about that toy box, dude?
well, hold on a second.
So-
Chuck, what is the name of that antenna place down by you that Adam uses all the time?
Oh, I don't know. I've never used them.
Comment did say they're working on a toy box antenna for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. I'm not kidding you.
Why?
Oh,
What's it going to be, like this big? And then 4 coils underneath of it?
I don't know that they necessarily understood English or what I was trying to ask them, or maybe their own antennas. But yeah, they said they were making a toy box for VHF, UHF. It seems weird. But
Signal,
I know
was
that
it Signal Stick? Maybe it was Signal Stick that Don just put in there. Is that them?
No,
That's what
there's
you're
some
talking
about?
small manufacturer company in
about?
California
It does the
that,
telescoping ones.
yes.
I'll be right.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I want to show you what Chuck has as a solution. Give me a second. I got to go over to Chuck's house real quick.
All right.
Yeah, come over. Come on over. He can come in here and do his read down if he wants to. And you guys, they kicked me out because I don't own a 705, so I can't be in the club.
Nope.
I was looking at them.
We're all doing the secret handshake under the table.
Chuck and I have been, I've been seriously showing Chuck the 705 all weekend, and he's kind of been considering it. And, you know, I gave him my personal recommendations, which I don't need to do on stream as well. But anyway, this is what I was talking about. This is a 20 meter antenna, and Chuck built this. You know, Chuck made this right here.
Basically, Elecraft came up with it, and I just improved it.
Right.
There's
And then
two
you
sides.
have a telescopic antenna. So I'm looking for some kind of solution like this, I think, for 2 meters. You know, a nice telescopic antenna. You got this cool. I can make this too, because if Chuck can make it, I can make it half butted. You know, it would work.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it's an L shape. It'll just screw in, and then there we are. While we're playing POTA, it'll just sit.
Mhm.
Well, POTA's a bad example because it's 2 meters, but you know what I'm saying, right?
And he's not
Take a look
telling
at
you
this
the
one I
full
got.
story because I made him an antenna. I put it on his radio yesterday, and it worked just fine. So I don't know.
So this is the Diamond SRH 789. I don't know if you looked at that one. I can't. Maybe I
Can
can.
you zoom in on that a little bit?
That's pretty cheap for
That's
a
it.
diamond antenna.
That's the most I can zoom in on it.
Okay.
Ham radio websites are the worst with pictures.
But this has a telescoping antenna from 95 megahertz to 1.1 gigahertz, AM FM receiving a full length omnidirectional telescoping structure, folds at base. 7.9 inches retracted, 31.7 fully, 6 sections.
Who makes that one? That was Diamond.
Diamond.
The nice thing of that one that he just showed you.
Ooh, this says it's SMA though.
Well, you can fix that.
I bet you they
he
have
has,
a.
he has to do a 90 anyhow.
You still need the right angle, yeah.
This
Tell
is
us
cool. I like
The
that.
little MFJ comes apart too.
I wish that I had the name of that antenna. You might want to ask Adam. He has one that he loves. It's a telescoping antenna.
Oh, you know, is
I was gonna look for some kind of solution today at the swap meet too. Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
I was gonna say if Todd's in here, Todd actually has one like that you're talking about. I think I don't know if Todd was in here today or not from Hawaii.
I haven't
Maybe
seen
he'll
him yet.
chime in.
Still early.
I did not see him.
That's
Still
really
yesterday
over
in
there.
Hawaii.
Believe me.
Speaking of Todd from Hawaii, Chuck and I had the opportunity to kind of compare HTs yesterday, and some of those inexpensive Chinese radios are more comfortable than some of those higher end HT radios.
This one just fits my hand better.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Paul Hastings is in the chat, and he was asking the other day on one of our videos about using that manual MFJ tuner that you have, Tio.
Yep.
You've done videos on how to work that thing, right?
Yeah. There's
That's
two
what-
different
that's what
ways
I
to
want.
do it, and I really, when I first got the manual tuner, it just made absolutely no sense. As a brand new ham, brand new to HF, it made zero sense whatsoever. Like I plugged it in and I'm moving the knobs back and forth, and nothing is happening. And the short answer is you got to put a signal out on the air. And in hindsight, with having years of experience, well, of course you need to put a signal out on the air, and just hitting the PTT's not doing that on sideband. But as a brand new general, you don't really know that. So yeah, I put a video out showing how to do that. I use RTTY because it drops a carrier out. So you get a solid signal, and then I either use the built-in SWR meter in the radio, or I use the cross needle display. And again, there was another thing that a new ham doesn't know is that I realize it's called a cross needle display, but when no one gives you an owner's manual and no one gives you the instructions, and where the needles cross is where you're supposed to measure the SWR. And I'm looking at like this one's going like this the whole time, and I can't get it to stop like bouncing off the end with power. Like, okay, fine. So I put the video out trying to help some new people come up to at least where I'm at. And I'm not saying I'm a genius, but at least where I'm at.
You could try this one.
Right, Liberty.
This is for the tiny essay. This thing's like a foot long.
AT2K.
Well, I might try to build something.
What's the
Gordo had
AT2K?
That's a tuner. Palomar.
Oh, and Liberty's saying no instructions come with the
Halstar.
tuners.
Halstar.
And if you want to have a good rant, like a legitimate, valid rant, go over to W6LG's channel. And I'm not saying that other people can't rant, but old Jim is good at it. He pulls out the instruction manual for the Ameritron 811H amplifier, and like as you're reading through the instructions, they're changing vocabulary on you.
T-Ray just said he ordered a WinCamp side mount off of Amazon for his IC705, and here's what I'm going to tell you. Based upon what I saw yesterday, the WinCamp is a much better solution than the Comet side mount for the 705. Chuck can confirm that. The thing looks like it'll just bend in half if you look at it wrong. So the WinCamp is probably the way to go, truthfully. And then I noticed that Gordo had a question in a minute, but I'll let Chuck comment on that if he wants to.
What was his
I
question?
gotta find the question, yeah.
No, Chuck, I was talking about, did you want to comment, comment on that?
Yeah, that little, all that is a piece of angle iron, guys.
The WinCamp looks a lot more durable, and it actually looks like it's a thick piece of metal, whereas that Comet, yeah, exactly, angle, they just bend it, and it looks like it's not even as thick as a stop sign.
I have the WinCamp, and I did a video on it, and I never use it. I don't like it. So
Send it my way.
I was gonna say if it's the one you want, I'll drop it in the mail to you.
I appreciate it. I'll send you something in return.
So the WinCamp is good, dude, but real quick, while we've got this like show and tell ability, the WinCamp mount here, let me get some light on it.
There
we go.
Take all of you guys out.
Where is it? Right
Yeah.
here. That's the only thing that's holding it is that screw that screws into the ground lug. So I mean the mount itself is nice thick metal. It's high quality, and I appreciate it, and I love the fact that it's got this extra ground connector on it.
Yeah.
But once you get past that part of it, the physical
Show
interface
me
with the
that
radio
again.
is
Show
not
me that
good.
again.
Which part do you want to see?
I want to see the whole thing.
So this is the
thing's built
underside.
nice.
It is. It's a
way
real.
better.
I mean, it's a quality piece of gear. There's your SO239 with that antenna I just showed you on it. There's a ground lug next to it with a banana plug adapter. It's got RG3. What is that? RG3 316.
316. That's correct.
So it's SMA to BNC.
Yeah, we had that
And
discussion.
the only problem
Dude was
is
correct.
it's the grounding screw. That's the only thing that connects it to the radio. So if you were to drop this hard on the bracket, you could cause some damage.
That's a
But
bunch of
I'm-
jive on that thing. I don't like them. I don't like those cages. I think they're nuts.
Yeah.
But that's
But
just
that's
me.
not part of the cage. The cage is a completely separate thing.
Is that cage free floating?
No, the radio's inside, and it's mounted to the camera mount on the bottom with those three screws.
Okay.
The WinCamp that I have is not it's not a cage. I don't think.
And the two devices are not compatible with each other. WinCamp.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that they're not compatible,
Made
but
by WinCamp.
right, that is kind of odd. I'm happy with that 705 cage that I got from POV, but also I have a 3D printed one coming in that's supposed to be a little bit more durable than the one I printed, so we'll
that
see.
looks pretty good.
It does, and actually that might be a solution too, is just a 3D print amount, for the antenna.
Is this what you're looking for, dude?
I mean, it is, yeah.
Okay, I've got this somewhere. I'll have to see I have to look it up, but see if I can find it.
That sounds good, man.
I just if I was going to do this, then I would use it. Let's see, where's the? I'm clicking on the wrong thing. If I was going to mount one of those antennas to it, then I could see the use for it. But I just
So no, that's the toy box antenna or something similar to the toy box. It has so much polar because of the height of it. It just tips the radio over the whole time. So when if you saw in the video, I literally strapped the radio down to the picnic table with bungee cord because it can't stand up under that kind of side load.
Yeah, I'll you have to give me some time to dig it up. But
yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. I'll do a review on it and see if I actually like it as well. But cool, man.
Yep,
I appreciate it.
So the real thing is that if that radio had been designed correctly, it would have a port like most radios that have 2 meter and HF for the 2 meter and 70 centimeter.
I will disagree with that.
At a different angle.
I will disagree with that. I will grant you the different angle because I already mentioned that earlier. But I hook mine up to my DX Commander, and my DX Commander is good for 40 through 70 centimeters, 40 meters through 70 centimeters.
But didn't it suck on them? I mean, you couldn't get anybody with it though, right?
Well, the thing is that the DX Commander is not a portable antenna either. So I wish it had a separate port for UHF, VHF, like the 817.
Here it is, Holy Wars.
I would agree with that as well. 100%. I think it's a good idea to have a separate port. With that being said, it was nice that on HF, Chuck had a half square that somehow was resonant on 2 meters as well. But when I'm out mobile and stuff like that, or portable, it's nice to have that ability to have two. Just here I have the VHF, UHF hooked up, and here I have the 20 meter hooked up. If I'm using these, I could walk around or whatever. But
yeah.
Gordon's asking, what is your opinion? He says Sanhai HT. I'm assuming he's talking about those Sanhex HTs.
I never heard of them.
Well, a lot of people claim that they're the company that makes all the Chinese radios, and then everything else gets rebranded out.
So Baofeng?
Yeah.
But it's not. They claim they make Baofangs too. Like.
Yeah, why should I have to use a duplexer on my radio? That's I don't believe it. All my Asus that do both have both. Why should I have to buy? That's ICOM's way of charging you for a duplexer. Sorry.
Well, you got to buy the diplexer from Comet. It's $150.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's
breaking news. I just saw the squirrel.
He's looking through the kitchen there. No, I see. I will disagree with you again, Tio, because when I hook up the 2 meter, I want to hook up a Yagi to it. I don't want to mess with a DX Commander. It has no gain on 2 meter.
You have no gain. You are fake news, Chuck.
I'm all gain. I'm all gain, baby. It just, I just don't understand it.
I don't have a lot of 2 meter activity in the area, and I don't have a rotator to put like a good Yagi out that I would be able to rotate around. And I'm working on doing some more 2 meter stuff, but I like having it hooked to the DX Commander. I like having it sitting right in front of me at my desk where I work all day, and I can just switch back and forth between the bands. And I would agree. I would very easily. I wouldn't get a quote unquote duplexer for vocabulary reasons, but I would get a little Y cable or a splitter if I was running 2 different antennas. I've got a tape measure Yagi, which isn't as good. I've got a roll up J pole. For the 2 meter work that I do,
I bet you the J pole will do better than that DX Commander.
Could be, but it's mounted in the house.
Oh well, yeah. But ask. Hey, how much 2 meter action did you see yesterday, dude?
Well, that one station was like 42 miles away, right? And he was calling CQ on 520. And what were we hooked up to at that point? Just a piece of wire for the counterpoise and
you listen. Oh, you have my little 2 meter or antenna that I made off of the BNC deal, and it was
right.
He was S9.
Yeah,
but that's abnormal for my area for 520 though.
There was a lot of
rubbing it in.
There was a lot of 2 meter activity, to be fair. There's people talking on the repeaters out here. There's 147.000. There's 145.330. There's people on Simplex. I mean, it was cool. And I guess the fact is just get some kind of antenna to get on the air. Now, once we hooked up a Yagi, I mean, you can tell.
That?
So Thump just sent me this. And it looks like they have male, SMA male, BNC, and
There you
then
go.
SMA female. And this is
Thanks.
I'll send this to you. I'll slide into your DMs and send this to you.
Thanks. I like it when that happens.
I have no idea if this thing's any good or not, but
I'll give it a
not?
shot. I'll do a review. There's a
I have
Redifice.
look at
Sorry,
this.
go ahead.
A
How about one of
camo,
those?
Oh, I got one of those.
a camo brie.
Okay. So real quick, everybody who's watching, I want you to try to pronounce the brand name in the chat.
Which one?
TWAYRDIO.
Two-way
Radio.
radio.
But there's no O in there.
Wow,
There's,
radio.
there's not enough A's.
Twa.
Radio. Everybody at home, play along. Yeah.
Tway.
That thing's 42 inches long, though, man.
That's what he wants. He says he wants some size. He likes some
Is
size on him.
Is that two? You said that's 2 meter and 70?
I didn't say it. They did right here. 70 centimeter, 2 meter.
Wow. that's
Liberty.
cool, man.
Yeah. Liberty can't build a half wave 440, he just said. Or a half square 440, I'm sorry.
And we just sold
really?
them out. This is the power of coffee and ham radios.
Can we jump onto that real quick? In a positive note, I'm going to be positive, Chuck. Chuck, I'm going to be positive. Chuck and I had this opportunity yesterday to walk around this Hamfest. Pacificon had about 3 rows of vendors, and that's about it. But me and Chuck went to most of the vendors and had discussions with them. And we have a lot of good stuff lined up coming up. We have owners of companies. Kevin over at Bio, I know is interested in coming on the show. I'm not going to name anybody else because I know how that goes. But we have a lot of people interested in coming on the show here in the very near future. So,
Yeah.
you know, Chuck and I are doing some work. Go ahead, Chuck. Tell them. I know what you're going to say.
And I had one person that absolutely told me we don't do that.
I told you to go F.
Okay.
Yeah, guess what? I don't buy
it
his
was like-
products. He wasn't even nice about it, right?
Boycotting now.
Well, it wasn't. Maybe I did make a joke. Him and his wife are sitting there, and they're partners in this business, right? I think. And I did make the joke, "Who's the boss?" And he started talking up. I go, "Are you?" Then I interrupted. I go, "You guys married?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Oh, well, then she's the boss." And she totally agreed with me.
Of
And
course.
he kind of did too. But after that, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I made him mad. I don't know. He basically said, we don't advertise like that.
Send me the name in the car chat.
I can't. You can't say it because I don't want to.
I won't.
He may have been
but I'm
having a
dying.
bad day. I don't know. He may have been having a bad day. I just don't know.
I'm pretty sure the ARRL heard about me, and they knew me when I walked up there. So I'm pretty sure they heard to watch out for me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Joe Brett's saying then she should come on the show without the dude. See, that's what would have happened if I was there. I would have been like, look,
Well,
lady.
I will say that she did give me her card after he looked the other way. I'm just saying. She handed me their card. He did actually. What he did tell me is he would send me products to review if I wanted to on a 30-day. If I wanted it for like 30 days and then send it back. So anyway, he didn't. He wasn't
This is that
totally mad.
radio.
It was just, oh wow, that's a nice looking radio. It looks like the one I have.
Well, that is cool.
Here's my thoughts. You're not going to be able to program that with Chirp.
No.
Hold on a second. That might be this. Oh, no, hold on.
59 watts. Do you guys see that? It says 59 watts.
Well, I saw $59.
No, go up again real quick.
5 watts right there.
5 watts
Okay.
on the bottom.
Go up. Go back down a little bit. Down a little bit. Okay, now where it
right
says
here.
add to
Yep,
cart.
I see it.
Yeah, what is that? That's kind of a weird spot to even have anything.
It's not 59 watts. It's 59 watts. So almost 6.
Almost.
I think it's a
I'm
599.
joking.
I
It's
think
got a
that this
programming
is.
cable.
Well, just because it has a programming cable doesn't mean it uses Chirp. Let me see the front of that. Does it look like this one?
Could be. Hang on.
Is that the one I have? Did you buy the one I have?
No, this is the Radio Oddity G5S GS5B. It looks like it's the same radio. So this radio is actually, this is the Bluetooth one. This is the one that ATA took a shower with. Not this one, but the model. He took one with the same model. But this has the Bluetooth the Bluetooth programming. Maybe I don't know if the programming software is good. I mean, I would buy it. I do like this radio.
It looks like the I just pulled this up to show you guys. It looks like the interface for the Ocean. You see that?
That's not bad. I would want to know how you could program it from the front panel, because that's what I like about the BTEC 6x2, 6x2, is that you can program it from the front panel.
Well, you can program this one easier than you can program a Baofeng from the front panel, but it's still not as easy as the BTEC. And which Wu Chang is that?
So yeah, UV90 plus.
Now, hold on a second.
So are you talking about it at all?
No, not yet. I know what you're going to ask. Not yet. No.
Not yet.
Coming soon. Film at 11.
Where did the ape go? I was wondering if Ape knew who I was talking about earlier.
Mrs. Ape came in. He got summoned.
I came all the way to California to buy an HD radio I could have bought on the internet, and yeah.
Yeah, but could you have seen the sides, baby? No. He's got some really good pictures. Our soda site the other day was pretty nice. We saw.
Oh, that was cool. That was beautiful.
Bay Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bridge,
Alcatraz,
Angel Island. We could see everything from there. It was pretty cool.
Dude, that was worth it alone. I mean, I don't even care that I didn't make one contact.
Yeah,
did I make it to
Liberty
prison?
says, and you got to hang with me. Thanks.
Yeah,
Liberty.
exactly.
I can't find my Wu Chang, but it's the 8E. I wanted to check the battery because you were saying that you were curious as to size.
Plasma wants to know if I made it to prison. Realistically, it's very expensive for me to fly out here, and then I had to go get a COVID test in order to go to the Hamfest, which was like $110 for the COVID test. And I just don't financially see it feasible of me going for another $60 ferry ride, each person, by the way, to go to Alcatraz. I just don't see it. And so Chuck and I are just going to go get lost in the mountains, I think.
So I'm going to post it up right now. We're alerting you guys that we're going to do a POTA tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Probably somewhere around 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a POTA soda. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably going to do a POTA. And then we might actually activate it as a soda with 2 meter, maybe. Because I think I know we can get 4 contacts.
Yeah. I think
they're asking about the shout out.
I know. I was getting ready to bring that up again.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks, dude. Welcome back, dude. We missed you yesterday.
I've been talking so much here, man, with dude. We've been talking a lot. So my voice is like almost gone.
Same thing, man. Like, you heard me yesterday. I was like, I got to stop talking.
So it's Tio. Tio's got to do it.
All right, so put your favorite host's name in the chat if you want a shout out. So put T.O. in the chat, and I will give you guys shout outs because I am the true leader here. And then I will just take this charge and make it happen. T.O. in the chat, and I will give you all a shout out.
Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Somebody just write, dude.
Coffee and Ham Radio has Ape in there, and I know who's at the keyboard of the Coffee and Ham Radio's chat this morning. Oh, and then it just scrolls right off the screen. Where did it go? All right. Andy Cowley.
Hey, what's going on, Plasma Storm? What's going on, NRD?
Thanks, Gary.
Megs, whoever said Megs, I lost the Megs one. That was a good one. Good answer.
Radio.
What's going on, Unlucky Ham? What's going on? What's going on, Rosa? Thank you. I appreciate you, Rosa. Joe Brett, we appreciate that too. Megs, I'm sure, appreciates that. You guys aren't jumping in, man. Everybody's saying that you're their favorites, but you're not jumping in. I'm the one doing the shout outs to anybody who loves the dude. So hey.
Sorry, T.O. Chuck's my favorite. All right. Yeah, we got Sterling in here. We got Mike in here. We got Les. We got Uber Geek. Or is Uber Geek also Side Boom, or am I confused?
Uber Geek is the Side Boom.
I think they're different people.
Uber Geek got down, and he got down on us by saying N-A-Y-O.
He says he is the same person. Hey, Dude and Chuck, says David Hill. Thanks a lot, David. Is David Hill No, David Hill is not the ARRL guy. So
no, he's Hank's brother.
I always say Hank Hill. That's right. David, we appreciate it. We're going to do that Parks in the Air activation for you specifically tomorrow, David. Astrolia, says Ron.
Astrolia has a mention in the November issue of QRZ, I just heard. So I got to go out and get my copy of that real quick. Philip's talking about work. This is a work-free zone.
Hey, thanks a lot, Les.
Les has them in the proper order: Chuck, Dude, Ape, and Tio. That's age order.
Or best looking.
Callum. All right, you've been banned from the channel.
Yeah, that guy's
Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan. Welcome this morning.
Morning, Dan.
Sterling's here. Look at that.
Hey, Sterling. Yeah, good morning, man. I'll never be mentioned in QST.
You know what? We heard a little bit about Sterling yesterday. I guess he's got a pretty good vlog stuff going on, or is it vlog
yes.
or blog?
Hey, thanks a lot, Arnie. Appreciate it. I actually just went off at the chat, but thank you, Arnie. Yes, Chuck has a good point. We have to go shout out. There were tons of people running up to us like groupies, and oh my God, you're Chuck and Ham Radio, dude. We love coffee and ham radios. But one of the mentions in the shout outs was to Sterling and how great Sterling's blog is, and they really enjoy reading Sterling's blog.
You guys should check that out. I didn't know it was vlog or blog, so.
It was a blog on Sterling's website. We'll see if we can get it linked. But I'm going to be honest with you. There were a lot of people that were like, "What's a vodcast?" or "What's a video?" A couple of people were even like, "What's YouTube?" I mean, they didn't know.
Well, I don't even know what you would call this. Is this a vlog or is this just a?
I call it a podcast, like a video podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right
Sterling's
words
got
are.
stars in his eyes there.
Sterling's.
There were some people there that were very impressed with your stuff there, Sterling, just to let you know. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to name names or anything, but...
He ain't naming names.
So
Chuck, what was your...
Sterling's
go
blog,
ahead.
and he's got it in dark mode, too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Chuck, what was your favorite thing about yesterday? Anything. I mean, we're talking about the fest, not about me being here.
Okay, well, that takes... I have to go to number 2 now. I really I enjoyed talking... Tell you the truth, meeting, like, Dennis and some of the other guys he hangs out with. Actually, one of the guys is Dan. And Dan's got a really good site also. I wish I don't have it right here handy.
And shout out to Jose from Ham Radio Outlet in Sacramento.
Yep, Jose. He actually, I think I actually met Jose when I interviewed Tim. And then there's also Jose. We thought we were going to meet the other Jose that's I was always in here, and we didn't meet him yesterday. But it was just fun meeting some people, and then we sat at the table, and people came down and sat to eat lunch.
Yeah,
and they started talking to us, and that's what Du was talking about. One of the guys was like, "What's YouTube?" And
You got to be kidding me. Somebody like, wouldn't a cotton picking Sam Hills of YouTube?
Maybe it wasn't YouTube, but maybe it was like, I said, well, we stream on Saturdays and Sundays, and he didn't quite understand that. He didn't understand that part of it. And
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
he made me and Dude look pretty young. So I mean, what can I say?
YouTube's at least 15 years old.
But regardless, they were very nice people, and we had these awesome conversations about one of them. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I think it was Rob, and he was from the Sacramento area. He's like, "Oh, I'm from Chicago originally." A lot of people were surprised that I came all the way from Illinois. I think they said I was the furthest person to actually be a visitor there. Mm-hmm. But we just had these conversations, and that was really cool. But I think what my go ahead.
Well, you might win a prize because sometimes they give a prize for the farthest person.
Oh, well, if I win a prize...
We'll have to look at the chart today.
We will, and if I win a prize, I'm just going to donate it to the stream. So you guys might get really lucky. But
was Elecraft selling those antennas that you showed yesterday?
The AX2?
No, he says what did he say? He gave us he says it should be out pretty soon. He says because, remember when the AX1 came out? You guys remember that one? Mm-hmm. It took them forever to get it out because there's parts, like some kind of parts in there they couldn't get. And he says, fortunately for this one, the parts are available and they should be available pretty soon. I want to say by the end of this month, but I don't want to say that because that might not be true. I may have video, tell you the truth, and I can tell you guys later. But
there's no electronical components in it like there is in the AX1, right?
It's like doing a in-fed half-wave basically, right? Except it's not in-fade half-wave.
They're asking where and when are you guys going to photo tomorrow?
We are going to be up in the El Dorado National Forest. I hope. We may actually have snow there tomorrow because it's supposed to rain tonight.
I brought the rain.
It's funny because it rains
rain.
tonight. It's cloudy tomorrow. Or no, it's sunny tomorrow, cloudy the next day, and then it rains the next 5 days. Which we haven't had rain. I can't remember the last time we had rain.
Anywhere you
But
go,
we,
you take the weather with you. That's
but
what I do.
we're going to go to the El Dorado National Forest. It's a place called Big Hill. Javi and I have activated a few times. I've done it a couple times by myself. I have to say, either I hit it on really good days or it's a really good spot, because I think I did an hour one day. You guys know me. I'm not I can't type fast, so I can't do the really fast contacts. We're going to check that out tomorrow though, because
I think
know dude
Rose.
can. And
Yeah.
and
So I'm sorry.
85 contacts in like an hour, guys, without even trying hard. So we should have pretty good propagation, and we're going to take a little secret weapon. So we're going to do pretty good. We're going to do.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be the 705, 5 to 10 watts. Maybe.
I think we could do it with 5. I'll bring it down to 1 watt at one point.
Yeah, but you'll have the Denko battery, right? You can use that.
That's right. Work. Thanks again, Dennis. That was an awesome battery. I appreciate it.
We have to ask Dennis how he suggests charging it. So
I do. If I just saw a couple of things in the chat, but if I can go back real quick to the Hamfest, I think the coolest thing I saw and I really appreciated. I was kind of lost in the moment there for a moment, and the guy came up to me. He's like, "Can I help you?" There was a gentleman there, and they're always at the Hamfest, but he was doing electronic kits for kids, and he was showing the kids how to build the electronic kits, and they were explaining each of the things, like, this is what a transistor does, this is what a capacitor does, and this is how it changes the lights and the voltage. And I was just like, this is so cool. I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was just like, I love the fact that this older gentleman was like really showing I don't even know how he did it, but he was like, he had like this persona to him that was really interesting, and the kids were like just digging into it and loving it. They're playing with soldering irons and stuff, and I think that's what it was all about. So I got lost in that moment. I'm like, this was the coolest part of the fest.
And you know what's sad about that with this COVID is in the past there was like only 2 kids there, and there's like I think there was 4 guys teaching it. In the past there's like 20 kids there. In the last couple of years, the last time I was there, it was like 20 kids and some adults. Tell you the truth, there was adults doing it before too. But they cater to the kids more for that. This whole thing was Pacificon is not it's not Dayton. It's not one of those big Hamfest in the first place. But this year it was really. I was like, hey, dude, we got to go over to the other hall here, and I go walk over in the doors closed. I'm like, what's going on? And it's like everything else, and I understand their reasonings and stuff, and everybody has their own decisions, but a lot of vendors decided not to go.
Yeah, I didn't see Dave Kassler either, but he was there. He had a meetup at noon or whatever.
I did see Randy walk by.
Yeah, Randy Hall was there,
and I unfortunately saw him after he already walked by us, but
he didn't talk trash about winning FT8 off.
But I think no, he didn't actually. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
He probably didn't recognize me.
Randy's a class act. I don't think he will.
I think it was really cool. I thought you guys were pulling my chain yesterday, but we did meet Wild Cascadia Radio. And I think we're the only YouTubers to ever meet Wild Cascadia Radio. So that was kind of honored. And we had an awesome discussion, just being able to talk to her, who's getting into the hobby, and like really starting to try to understand things. She had a lot of good questions and input.
Yeah, she did.
That was fun.
Her and I've chatted before about antennas, and then she hit me up again on how do you tune that Yagi, and stuff like that. And I go, well, you have to give me a little more information on what Yagi it is.
See if I can throw.
It wasn't a name brand one, so she couldn't really tell me.
I wonder if I can't throw a wire up there today so she could use my call and try to make some HF contacts.
Oh,
do it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
There's a place that you can operate there.
They do have a ARRL thing, but I decided just to avoid that too.
The MDARC is doing it also though.
I won't go any further with the ARRL. But then Rosa asked about the metal detector thing, and you know what, Rosa, I have one more travel trip, which is next month. And then I'm not going on travel trips, so I'll probably do the metal detector sometime over the winter.
Oh, yeah. We could do that. You should have brought that this week, man.
I don't
don't
have
have
a
one
metal
yet.
detector yet. Nobody
don't
could
have it yet.
nobody could loan me one for review or evaluation, so I got to go buy one.
Oh,
And they're not they're not cheap.
We could go gold panning though. I know a place.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh,
Chuck, we
that
gotta
would
do
be cool. Do you want to do that? Let's do it. Let's go Poda and Golda.
What are you gonna do?
You know what?
We're gonna go panning for gold. Like,
Oh,
That is so awesome.
Actually, where we're going, we could. On the way home, we could probably do it.
you need one of them
I'd have to
sluice
find my-
boxes.
Well, no, you just need a pan.
you need a pan, and you got to do that the figure
I
eight
know.
thing.
I can do all that stuff.
How much gold have you found, Chuck?
I found some at Walmart.
I've never bought. I've only done it a few times, and flakes. I've never found anything bigger than flakes. I had a friend though that when you can't dredge here anymore because it kills the fish basically because it just messes up the water. But you can use like a sluice box. And he had a dredge for a while, and that guy he was finding nuggets in the same place that I was talking a week ago.
Nice.
It's actually on a different. I'm trying to figure out how we get there on the way home.
Gold is $17.74 and 10 cents an ounce right now. So if you found gold flakes, you're probably like, I don't know, $50.
Hey, that helps pay for this trip, right? Heck yeah, let's go golden. Let's go golden.
If you know where to
Gold
look
digging.
sometimes, and you're there early after rains and stuff like that, you look at like behind boulders because the gold will go flying over and then drop because it's heavier. My buddy was totally into this stuff. I forget that he used to watch some guy on YouTube it was on TV.
Oh,
I can't remember the guy's name. Oh,
Yeah,
Buzzard, something or other. Yeah.
Lionel just said, Chuck and dude coming out of the mountains. There's gold in them there hills. And that reminds me, Chuck, we got to make that video for John over there at Yesu where we're running toward each other. And like, what did he say we had to do? Hey,
Embrace.
And I think he's going to give a
You got to do
post
that
a
scene
101,
from
right?
Dirty Dancing where
He's-
Chuck, you just catch him and like hold him up in the air.
Yeah.
well, you know,
I
it's,
don't think Duke could hold me.
I was going to say it's interesting too, because I think Chuck really got to fully see how bad my back is while we've been out here. I'm like, I get out of a truck and I'm limping, you know what I mean? But we've been making it happen, and Chuck's been considerate of that too, which is always fun.
I
Somebody's
carried all the water the other day. For us.
Did he let you drive the Forerunner?
I gave him the
I stole it
choice.
last night, and I went through the Oaktown downtown.
I gave him the choice. We could take the Forerunner. We could do because technically the Rubicon Trail is in El Dorado National Forest, so we could go actually on the trail. But the only thing is, sometimes it's a little bit jarring. You know what I'm saying? And he may not like that. So
I probably won't be able to do it.
I'm pretty smooth with the rocks, but sometimes the rocks just do what they
Chuck's
want.
smooth with everything though.
Smooth as butter.
Yeah,
We could probably do like a
roll,
little.
you know?
We could do like a little bit of magic editing on videos, and we can make it look like I was there.
We could go in the very beginning of because that's nothing. I could probably take my truck there. To tell you the truth,
Take him on the sand dunes.
sand dunes are worse than rocks,
They're
man.
more bumpy?
Yeah, because you can go off drop off,
Hold on a second. Let
and
me
you never
find
know
this.
how far the drop off is until you have to actually drop off. And my Foreigner's not what I would call a good sand dune vehicle. It doesn't have the power for that. You need a lot of power. Look at
Oh,
this.
look at that.
This is what I'm wearing today to the flea market. It's,
Like an Elvis cape.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it just like this, and I have a clip, and I'm going to walk around with the coffee and ham radio mugs.
That's awesome. And nobody will recognize you.
No, but it's going to get attention, and maybe we'll get those. How many subscribers did you want today? 1,500
2,000.
more subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't even think there's 1,500 people at that fest.
What material is that? Because that looks flexible versus like the vinyl signs.
It is it's a material that's like a flag, but it's silky kind of.
Right.
Yeah, it's a silk it's a silk it's a silk
twill.
banner.
It's like a twill.
Sure, it's a polyester, and the reason I know it's a polyester is because this is sublimation. And when you do sublimation has to be done on polyester. So some sort of polyester material.
Sateen.
No, that's nice. I thought we were getting a vinyl. When we ordered that, I thought it was going to be a vinyl sign.
Oh,
That's what I thought too. And then I saw it's like, wow,
should I have gotten vinyl, or is this
No,
okay?
that looks
No,
that
that's
looks like
perfect.
it's a million times
that
nicer.
looks
That's
yeah,
much
it
better.
does.
That's really good quality. Chuck saw it in person.
You did good.
I don't know if I trust his judgment though, dude.
Chuck's been
You
known to
should.
tell a tale.
You should.
I know what a good radio is.
I might listen to
Just
Chuck
saying.
a little bit more after being here.
I fixed that problem, guys.
I'm telling you, man, my voice really is messed up. It's like I've been on doing contesting here because we've talked about so much stuff. It's cool
You-
having. It's actually cool having somebody that likes what you like to do.
Usually by about, I don't know why everything just flipped, and I'm sorry. I don't.
Either.
That was weird. That was
It's
really
okay.
weird.
It looks good.
Looks good on you, man.
Let's see
He's
if
doing
that
a
fixes
short.
it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we should do pretty good. I think we'll probably. I bet you we get 15 to 20 2-meter contacts, and I actually have an antenna that I built for a video that I'm not going to use. Well, I am going to use the video, but we might actually take that up and test it. It's a little Yagi. You guys know what it is, but
I think I know what it is.
it's
I know what
Under
it is.
development. Top secret
But
project.
today you said you guys are is the flea market, right, or the swap meet?
Yeah,
they
it's-
only do it one day because, and Duke can attest to this, their parking lot is not big enough to have it the whole time, and it won't be
Yeah.
huge. In fact,
It's,
I'm wondering how huge it'll be.
6
NRD
a.m.
wants
to
a
noon.
flag. NRD wants a coffee and ham radio flag. We'll have to put that up in the
Black
merch
velvet.
shop.
He wants
On
black
velvet.
velvet though.
Oh,
We'd have to
idea.
reverse the color, to do that. I'd do it in white.
That's easy. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, you're right, Chuck. It's not
'Cause we
big
got
enough
there-
of a parking lot.
We got there
Go ahead.
early, yes, both days actually, and parking was still tough.
Yeah, it was.
In fact, we're gonna have problems today because we stuck around for this, but we'll make it.
We
Because,
might not though, because it only goes until noon today.
Oh, does it?
That's a short
Actually, I might.
swap meet.
I kind of have something I might buy today.
I do too.
Oscilloscope.
No, but you would have loved sitting next to the guy I sat next to yesterday. Abe. He was
Yeah.
talking. We were talking. How you check, compare antennas, and how hard it is to test antennas now, unless you really have a switch that you can go back and forth. Because of the band.
Right.
I mean, I was talking to K8MRD on our POTA at Bodie, California, and he just totally dropped out, and I couldn't hear him again. He heard us, but we couldn't hear him. So I guess he wasn't hamming hard enough. But this guy was talking about using oscilloscopes and stuff for checking.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know who his friend was? It was Dr. Fong, Dr. Ed
Oh,
Fong.
yeah.
And we were talking about that antenna, and he was talking how Dr. Fong actually tested his 2-meter antennas, and the thing is because it's a short wavelength, he was able to do it like in his backyard. He says now if you're going to check bigger antennas, it's harder because
You need space.
wavelengths away. Yeah, but I think you would have loved talking to that guy. He was way over my head on the technical stuff. I mean,
Well, that's the thing is they say Pacificon is like one of the more that and was it Tarpin are the two like really Tapper Network are the really technical fests as opposed to the other ones.
Well, we have Silicon Valley down there, and a lot
Tarpin,
of
I think.
a lot of those guys from Silicon Valley are hams, and they're like
Right.
they got the little
Well, like Wayne, right?
the thing up here.
Like Wayne and George.
Yeah, Wayne. I mean, and Wayne he was like he told us I had a great time on the show. He loved it, and
We invited him back on the show.
yeah,
Awesome.
I could say that one.
You said that somebody was asking him if what he thought of Elecraft. Is that what happened?
Say that again. Who was?
I thought somebody was saying that somebody went up to him and was like, "Hey, what do you think of the Elecraft radios?" He's like, "I'm the,
Oh, I don't remember
I'm the
that.
co-founder." Is that your choke, dude?
That's
Yeah,
what
I bought
thought.
this choke here. But shout out
how much was it?
How much would it be?
$32.
I have the one like that by Chameleon, and it was like $45 or something like that. But
So
those
that
are
was a
nice
good deal
inline
then, huh?
chokes.
This is
Yeah.
ABR. ABR makes nice coax. Or I don't know who
Oh.
makes their coax, but their coax is nice.
Well, yeah, shout out to them. His name is Chuck over there. It was great to meet Chuck, and we look forward to working with you more in the future, buddy.
That's cool. Those chokes are nice.
Mike says that Dr. Fong is one of the most interesting gentlemen to talk to. And you know, he actually may have been there, but I wouldn't recognize him.
Wouldn't
probably,
recognize
but, no.
Well, maybe if we wear the Coffee and Ham Radio cape, Dr. Ed Fong will come up to us.
Well,
Probably
Ed Fong did a seminar with the Vaca Valley guys, I think, a few years ago. They had,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
I bet you he's done one at Pacificon also, because this is one of the bigger ones around here. There's another one down south, but I heard it wasn't that great. I don't know. I forget what the guy told me. It was they were more specialized into a certain part of ham radio, not just general ham radio.
Gotcha.
And it might have been, maybe it was digital stuff or something like that. I don't remember. It might have been satellite stuff. They were big in satellite.
We did not make. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
I was going to say we did not make contact with the Parachute Mobile guys yesterday. To be honest with you, I borrowed my radio, but I kind of forgot about it. The excitement of getting into Pacificon. I forgot that they were jumping.
Dennis. The excitement of meeting Dennis, right, was overwhelming.
I really enjoyed talking with Dennis, to be honest with you.
I felt bad. I gave him a bad time on his radio, but to tell you guys, I really do like the 705. If I didn't have a KX2, I might be buying one, but I just I don't need two QRP radios.
I told Chuck I feel like Chuck needs to wait, because you never know.
I think there's something else that might be in the works that I might.
Yeah, that's IGU. All right, that's what you're all itching for, right?
We were talking about it last night, and I showed it to Chuck. That looks pretty cool too. The Zygu.
Yeah. It was funny because when you pick up my KX2 and the 705 together, they feel very similar in weight until you actually put them on a scale.
But and I do also have that cage on there, which adds quite a bit of weight.
But I have the cage on mine too, so.
Yeah, but those cages, the
Apples
gauge
for
of the
apples.
cage is considerably different.
Yeah, but mine's metal. My whole body on that KX2 is all metal though. It's not plastic, except for the screen. Which is nice because you can actually replace the screen. It's actually a protective screen on that one. It gets dust under it though. That's the bad thing. And we're pouring Tio. Tio, how's that 2 meter work on? How's that TF Commander work on 2 meter?
It works great on 2 meters. Thanks for asking.
What were we talking about today?
I was going to say we're an hour and 20 minutes into the show, and we have not been on topic once today.
Oh, we're going to have to redo this one, I guess. Well, actually, we were kind of on topic because when we talked about working HF and 2 meter for my backyard, that was the shack that we were using.
Yeah,
There you go.
We're using the most perfect weather. Because usually when it's really nice to sit on my deck, it's too hot to sit on my deck. But it's been perfect.
So Mike is saying I keep doing that backwards, and I specifically went and I asked him what he prefers, and then I get it wrong every time anyway.
So yeah, the cage stops
fitting in the backpack. So I would want the backpack. I would want to never take the radio out of the backpack.
So here's the thing with that: the POV cage, I think, is probably what he's talking about. Both of them probably don't fit, but the POV cage doesn't fit either, unless you take off those side protectors, which is kind of inconvenient, right? Because then you got to unscrew them.
Then what's the point of the POV cage?
Right. No, I agree. I was trying to get to a butt here. The butt is I have a camera bag that I got from Goodwill, but it's one of those that you buy at Best Buy. I can link it later if anybody's interested, and it fits fine in the camera bag. And the camera bag was way less money than the Icon bag anyway. So, it doesn't fit. You're absolutely right. But I had some luck with some other bags.
You should try it in my camera bag before we.
Oh, it'll fit in your. Are you talking about the bag right here?
Yeah. Well, I know it'll fit.
Oh,
we should see how it fits in there because that's with the case and everything. Because the one I have, it has panels that you can move, so you can fit different size things. That's a lunchbox there.
It is a lunchbox.
I know what it is. K8MRD has some similar one for his DS Commander. And guess where he found out about that?
Internet.
Just saying, no.
I'll tell you guys.
I gave him the idea. Never gave me any. Yeah.
I would recommend and
$9.99.
caution. I know it's only $99.99, but I would caution anybody who's trying to buy the Shegu 6100 to get a first look or whatever. Don't buy it off of AliExpress, because all those accounts who say they're the official Shegu company, and you look and their accounts are only like 8 months old and they have no feedback. Guys, it's a scam. And I'm just letting you guys know so you don't fall for it. Because some of them are coming up, like $1,200, I think we saw one for at one point.
Yeah.
And I saw one about a week ago for $7.99. And they're all scams.
19 cents yesterday.
Well,
Oh,
even if you're
nine-
able to get one, if you're able to get one, if it's not made for ITU Region 2, the band plans on the radio is going to be off, and you're going to have problems with that.
But Shegu does do this nice thing where they put a big thing on the printed circuit board that says, cut here.
Well, you had a free band. But the thing is, like with the G90, there's a G90, which is what I have. I think you all have the G90 except for Chuck. And then there's a G90S, which is the Asian.
That's the Yaesu 90, the Y90.
The Asian version. So you got to be careful of that.
You guys just buy all the radios. I just can't.
So was
I'm
it one of us
retired,
that
man.
put out the? Was it one of us that put out the AliExpress video, or was it somebody else? There's somebody that said like, "Here's how to buy off of AliExpress and all the different things you need to look out for." Like dude was saying.
Remember that.
Wasn't me.
I don't know.
Yeah, so like
Uber
they have
Geek's
a
asking
return
about the-
policy. They have to have like a valid feedback number count. They have to be a certified platinum partner on AliExpress or something like that.
It could have been me. Truthfully, it could have been, but I don't really remember, because I made a video was like how to find deals on ham radios, and I went into a lot of that stuff like Wish and what to look out for, but I don't know if I talked about or spoke about AliExpress.
Nice, Andy. Uber Geek saying, what happened to the GSOC? And so when the GSOC came out, I had an opportunity to get one at a discount. And I was looking at it. I was like, this thing isn't done. I'm not going to buy it because I didn't think it would ever be done. And a lot of people did buy it, and they had significant problems with it. And I was like, phew, thank God I didn't buy that.
Oh,
And everybody
that-
was like,
yeah.
well, they're going to fix that. They're going to fix that in firmware.
Still waiting.
It's 2 years later, and the thing's still a piece of crap. It's a shame because conceptually it's really, really cool, but
It's good.
And
Good concept. Yeah.
Isn't the new one that's kind of a cross between the two, maybe?
I don't
The
know.
G90 and that? That was
I
speculation.
have no. I would think the new one's closer to the X5105.
5105, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 50. It's
Well, I
it's
meant
definitely
actually-
closer to the 5105.
Actually, I meant it was supposedly a cross between the 5105 and the GSOC.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I meant,
Hey,
actually.
Ape, have you taken one of your Zygoos with the IQ out and plugged it into like SD
I have
plus
not.
plus?
I have not, and what I want to do is I need to get a 192K sound card in order for that chain to work correctly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's a heck of a sound card, right? And just the
sound
price
card.
of computer components has been. It hasn't been worth it to me to go ahead and invest in that sound card because I'm probably never going to use it, right? Like I use it and do a video and then it'll go in the box, and it's just that.
Is
Yeah.
the G1M any good? The G1M
No.
is like one of Zygoos' first HF radios.
No,
So, and there's just a better choice out there for that same amount of money.
well they're cheap. The G1M is like $200, $300, something like that.
Yeah.
It gets 4 bands, 0 filtering on it. The display is not good. I mean, people might buy it and love it. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Ape's a hater." I'm not. I'm a fan of Zygo, Shegu. It's just not. It's not worth it in my opinion.
Look for an old Kenwood TS450 or something.
Right, or even just get a G90. Well, you have a G90. I
Or a
think Plasma
G90.
has a G90. I would save up and get the G90.
I agree. Does Plasma not like that G90? I'm kind of curious. Or is he just looking for other radios?
I'm pretty.
He probably wants
He's
to
just
work two
asking.
at the same time.
I'm pretty
Two
sure he
dudes.
doesn't like Yaesu, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, they're like radios are like tattoos. You can't stop at one.
that's, yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
And
My
you want
wife
to
has
keep them
not
on your
used
person
that,
at
but
all
she
times.
Says the same thing.
This one feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give that away. This feels pretty nice in the hands, but Chuck has a radio that's a fake radio, and it feels really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
the 10.
Yeah, that fake.
10.
Yeah.
But the plastic quality on it feels good. It's like, I can't show that to you over the video or anything like that. But the thing, it
What
just
I always
feels like
say
a nice radio.
is if you can touch them, they're not fake.
And you know what, dude? I called dude on it yesterday, right?
That's
And he
always,
goes,
been my
I
opinion.
want to show you how this thing looks on it. And then we go outside, and he goes,
No,
when you
but
did it this time, it didn't look bad. He thought it was the house or something.
yeah. So he keyed up that radio, and when he keyed it up, I saw on the 705 across the spectrum just a bunch of lines popping up, and I'm like, "Oh, that doesn't look good." So we went outside, and they were gone. So I don't
It's
know
like you're
what the
at Abe's
deal
house.
was. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoy operating in my ham shack and other ham shacks. These days, I think my ham shack is actually my backpack. So we did talk about the topic at hand today.
Yeah,
We did.
sure.
And like I said, our ham shack this week was the backyard, and we talked about that. We had the
And the
Moxon
mountain
set up,
and the mountain, yeah.
so we had the Moxon set up. It's at a huge height of 6 feet, and we're talking to all over the United States. And actually, you were listening to what, Korea? Where was it you were listening to last night?
Taiwan. Oh, Taiwan was 2 days ago, and last night was it was Africa, and it was
Yeah.
it was the western end of Africa. It was really weird. I'd never heard of this island before. It was called Guinea. It was called Guinea Island, and it was but in Africa though. I was really confused about that.
And he was like about a S4, right? Something like that. S2, S3.
Yeah, and then automatically he just was gone.
Yeah.
Did you ask the Taiwanese people about the chip shortage?
I did. They said there's no chip shortage. It's all fake news. And what they said is it's all about supply and demand, and the Americans are actually ripping us off.
Well, fellers, we have reached the end of another successful squirrel-laden clickbait title description nonsense.
We should probably
Ham
go back
Radio's-
We should go back and change that one, right?
We should, yeah. And be sure to subscribe to all 4 of our channels and this one. We're doing a 2,000 subscriber drive because yesterday's 1 subscriber drive worked out really well. So if you guys can pull it off again today, we would really appreciate it. I'll say thank you and hit the button.
Hey, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for being here.